Shout out to Nick, who is so lovely, coming in and being like, no, my friend's sad? It's an acronym. I'm so sorry. This wasn't meant to be clickbait. I'll be there in just one more minute. All right. Hello, everyone. Oops, right. Yep, that was mine. Ignore that. It's got nothing to do with you. It's got nothing to do with you, dude. Okay, if the birds are, like, wigging you out, let me know. I can always swap to something else. It doesn't have to be... What's this one? What's this one? Let's see. That might be a little better. Kind of understated bird noises. They're loud birds. They were loud birds, yeah. But to be fair, the video was like 4K bird noises. So I'm not surprised that the birds were loud. The birds were the point, you know? They confused my cats. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, here's the needle! I was looking for that. It's okay. I found a workaround. Noise in 4K. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's also a video, isn't it? Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the stream. What's up? I am not a mushroom today. I am a person. Delighted to be here. Hanging out with you guys. Hello. Hello. Flesh. You know what's fun? I tried to be on top of it and get rid of the mushtuber tag. And every time I go to click the little X next to mushtuber, it errors out. So I'm a mushroom forever in my heart, you know. I tried to add fleshtuber. I tried to get rid of mushtuber. It wouldn't let me do anything with it. So I guess I'm a mushtuber always, I suppose, which is fine. Yeah, Twitch knows who I really am on the inside. I found more fish people that I like. I figure since you all now know what I didn't realize was a deep dark secret, now I'm like noticing it more often when I watch something and I'm like, the fish people in this are awesome. So if any of you guys have watched the Trolls show, Trolltopia, which is very cute, by the way. Clark, we've watched all of it now. It's adorable. Basically, in the, like, new version of the Trolls, right? There are lots of different, like, groups of trolls, and they all correspond to different types of music. So the main trolls in, like, the newer Trolls movies are the pop trolls, but there are rock trolls, classical trolls, techno trolls, etc. Okay? So, the techno trolls are basically just blacklight fish people. They're great. Aesthetically, they're the best ones. And I'm realizing that I have like for some reason, I just love fish characters, I guess. So, there you go. You are no longer a mush tuber and are a flesh tuber. No! Were you able to change it? That's so funny that it wouldn't let me. Yeah, here, I'll show you a picture. Techno trolls. Look at these idiots. Okay, wait. Techno trolls. I'm gonna do the ones from Trolltopia because they are better. Yeah! Look at these! They're so cute! Oh, it's a bad picture. They're the techno trolls. They're very cute. They live in the water. Wait, where's the main techno troll? Hold on, what's his name? Synth. This is like the techno troll ambassador, this character. So they're in a lot of stuff. It's just good. They're just good characters. It's good character design. I was curious if I could change it. It does say flesh tuber for me now. Yeah, you changed it. Well done. For anybody who doesn't know why I'm bringing this up, I figure at this point I should just own it, you know. A while ago, we were talking about the new... Were we talking about the new Zelda game? Or for some reason, Breath of the Wild came up. And I was like, look, I didn't play Breath of the Wild, really. I tried a few times. I never really got into it. I'll probably never play it. The only interest that I have in Breath of the Wild is the Hot Fish Man. And about, I would say, 70% of my viewers were like, right, the Hot Fish Man. And the rest of them went to Google Hot Fish Man, and I'm so sorry about that. And then I was like, yeah, I guess like this is a theme for me, because when I was younger playing Ocarina of Time, the only character that I was like super invested in was Ruto, who is the hot fish princess, right? And then we were like, oh no, do I have a fish thing? And then I went home to my sweet family, and my kid was watching Trolls Topia, and I was like, God, I love the fish people in this. And I was like, no! So here we are. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't want to kiss the fish people. I don't know. But but like, just aesthetically, like, their design is just always better. Shape of Water must have been better. I didn't watch that movie. I haven't watched that movie. You just think they're neat. I just think they're neat. And in hyper-specific scenarios, I would kiss them. Yeah. That's some hole you're digging for yourself. Yeah, but like, I'm letting everybody watch me dig the hole, so it's fine. And you played a Triton. I did, but I didn't play a hot Triton. I think that should be said and on the record. That I was not a hot Triton. You sure? I'm sorry. Did anybody watch Last Call for Adventure and think that my character was meant to be hot? That was not supposed to be the case at all. It's like Zack all over again. That's true. My apprentice, though, was very hot. Hot swole fish man. But Zack was hot. Zack wasn't supposed to be hot, though. You laugh weird. Thank you. That means it's recognizable. Oops, they're hot. Oops, they're hot. Zack was super hot according to the fan art. I know, that's what I'm saying. I was like, I'm gonna play a grumpy, tired, older man. And that'll be fun. And it did not take long for everybody to be like, I love that. So you're gonna say Dash wasn't meant to be hot? Dash was meant to be hot and also stupid. And I feel like I feel like that worked out. I feel like that's exactly what's on the tin is what the people have gotten. Zach was a zaddy. Oh, God. Oh my God. Apparently, here's a heads up. If you tell a kid that something is magic or results in magic, please follow up with the parents about that. This morning, so all last night, Clark was like, Nanny got me a fairy pillow, a pillow with a fairy on it, and I have to sleep with it tonight. And I was like, okay, makes sense, right? It's a pillow. It's a new pillow. She wants it in her bed. That totally makes sense. And then in the middle of the night, she had woken up and double checked that her pillow was there and was like, did you know that our niece, she was like, did you know that my cousin also has a fairy pillow and a fairy showed up? And I was like, wow, that's so exciting. She was like, I know. So I hope a fairy shows up. I was like, yeah, it'll probably be while you're asleep, huh? And she was like, yeah, but that's okay. Went to sleep. Woke up in the morning and was like sobbing. And I was like, what's going on? And it turns out someone, I don't know who, so I don't know who to go for. I don't know who to text right now. But someone in this family looked my kid in the eye and was like, yeah, and when the fairy shows up, it leaves a gift. Who did this? Who did this? So my kid wakes up and starts crying and is like, the fairy didn't come. It didn't leave me a gift. I was like, oh my God. And she was like, is it because I'm a bad girl? I was like, oh my God. Like, who did this? Ridiculous. Did you not know about the coin thing? There's no tooth under there, dude. It's a pillow. It's a pillow with a fairy on it. This isn't a tooth fairy situation. It's a pillow with a fairy on it. And someone was like, it gets fairies to come to your house and then they leave you gifts. Pardon? Who did this? So yeah. Fairies on vacation. Yeah, I was like, maybe it's because it's a new pillow, honey. Maybe it's because it's a new pillow and the fairies didn't know about it. And she was like, no, that's not it. I was like, okay. And then she goes, maybe the fairy likes to play tricks. And I was like, fae are like that. And she goes, maybe the fairy hid it somewhere. And I rapid fire in my brain. I'm going, do I have time to find something in the house and pretend it's a gift from a fairy and hide it in the house? I was like, yeah, maybe. And she was like, can you help me look? I was like, after I make a coffee, sure. Unfortunately, she got super distracted doing a science project and we never talked about it again. But I was like, oh my God. Yeah. So, it'll probably come up again tonight when she goes to bed again. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Fairies are banned now. As they should be. Tell her they left the gift at the old house. I don't even know, like, what kind of gift are we talking about here? I don't know. I don't know, dude. I don't know. And you know me, like, I'm the sort of parent that's like, I don't ever look her in the eyes and say, yes, that is exactly what's happening here, right? Because I was raised by a dad who was like, all of this shit, it's not real. Don't believe in it because it's not real. And I was like, nice, cool, tight. Thank you, Dad. And so I am now like kind of towing the line of that, where part of me is like, I think that sometimes you can take it too far with your kids, right? But at the same time, I want her imagination to flourish. So situations like her going to a spring festival and riding a pony that was dressed up like a unicorn, and now every time somebody says there's no such thing as unicorns, she says, fuck you, I actually rode one, so you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, right? I'm just like, you go, girl. Trust yourself. You know, like, I love the confidence. Oh my God, my dad is such a like no nonsense person. I've talked a little bit about my dad and like his life, but like it makes sense if you know him and you know the sort of life he's had. It makes total sense why he just like doesn't bother like giving any time to things if he's like, this isn't real, this doesn't make sense, right? Like he, in the moment, he doesn't think about like, maybe I should lie to make this person feel better, right? Like that's not a thing for him. So, you know, there were situations like my lizard died when I was a kid, and I was like, at least it's in heaven. And he was like, lizards probably don't go to heaven, honey. Sobbing in my mom's lap, and she was like, Steven? Looking back on that, it makes me laugh, but in the moment, I was like, I cannot believe my dad just said that to me. Like, lie to me, dude. But, you know. Formaldehydrated. Welcome to the cat gang. What a good name. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm sorry for the wheezing. I'm still getting over whatever the hell this was. I've been a lurker for a long time. I'm shy, but I'm trying. Oh, it's very sweet. Feel free to lurk. Whatever makes you most comfy. I appreciate you being here. We used the microscope that she got for her birthday today. It came with little, like, tiny things of dye for situations where, like, adding a little bit of dye will help you to see the details better. So at the time, Dave was explaining, like, yeah, you might use dye if you're looking at, like, flower petals or, you know, things like that where, like, the dye can sort of, like, settle in between the cracks and you're able to see details better. So Clark was like, I want to use the dye on something. So we had a flower that was in the kitchen that was falling to pieces. And I was like, let's take a flower petal. We'll look at it before the dye and we'll look at it after the dye. And she was like, that's awesome. Let's do that. So we did. And it was a huge difference and it was super fun. And then she wanted to put everything on there. And we're now talking about, I think that this would be super fun, but we're now talking about like throughout the year, as flowers outside are like blooming, we take like bits of all of the flowers that are growing on our property and like put them on little slides and label them so that we can look at them under the microscope and like remember what they are. I think that would be super cute. Anyways, that doesn't matter. Anyways, so we were doing that this morning and it was really fun. And then of course it turned into, but mommy, what are we going to do with the rest of this dye? And I was like, nothing, Clark. We're going to put it back in the little packet and that's it. And she was like, what if instead? What if though? I think we should put some in water. And I was like, okay. I want to encourage your scientific creativity. Go for it. So she put a little bit in water and then was like, that was the blue dye. I think we should also put the red dye in there. I want to see how purple it can get. I was like, okay. So then it turned into that. Then she took the pipette and started like sucking some into the pipette and was like, I need something to put this in. I was like, what do you mean? She was like, Mommy, I need you to bring all of the science stuff that we have in this house. I was like, what do you mean, all of the science stuff? What specifically are you asking for? And she was like, science stuff. What do we normally use when I do science projects? And I was like, bowls and spoons, and that's about it. And she was like, Mommy, bring me bowls and spoons. I was like, Jesus, okay. So I go into the kitchen, I grab a couple of bowls and a spoon. I come back in and she was like, is that it? I was like, Clark, this weird, like, mad scientist attitude that you have right now, it's not going to fly anymore. I can't do this. So we, like, put down a bunch of, hi, Brett. So we, like, put down a bunch of garbage bags to protect the floor because she insisted on doing it on the floor in the living room. So I was like, that's fine. Put down plastic bags, had the microscope, 2 big bowls, this precarious cup that was full of purple water. And then she found a balloon and a smaller cup and put some of the water into the smaller cup and then stretched the balloon on top of the cup and then turned it upside down. And it actually wound up being really interesting because all of the liquid wouldn't go into the balloon. At a certain point, the balloon was like, nah, I'm done. And she was like, why? And I was like, it probably has to do with the air. And she was like, what air? It was like the air that was in the balloon when you put the balloon on there. And she was like, what? And we wound up like trying to figure out exactly what was going on there. So it was, it was one of those situations where it was like, you know what? You leave a kid alone long enough to like just do whatever the fuck. And then eventually they'll be like, this doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, holy shit, that's science. There's a Turkish art where you make a painting on water and then transfer it onto paper. I feel like I've seen something like that before. I bet Clark would love that, yeah. She kept asking if she could paint, and I'd be like, yeah, of course you can paint. And then she'd get distracted doing something else, and then be like, can we paint now? And I'd be like, yeah, of course we can. And she'd be like, okay, after this. And then she'd do something else. And then by the time I was making lunch, she was like, after lunch, can I paint? I was like, you can ask Daddy, because I'm going to be fucking gone. I'm going to be working. She was like, what? What do you mean? We never even got to paint. I was like, yeah. That's what happens when you do 8 other projects in the morning instead of paint. Clark is me trying to get work done. She's really into the knitting machine right now. She can basically just, like, do the knitting machine by herself at this point. The problem is she's part cat, as all toddlers are. So at a certain point, it gets to be not as exciting, and she just wants to unravel the entire ball of yarn. So currently, she grabbed the kitchen scissors, which is fine. She's allowed to do that as long as there's an adult around. She grabs the kitchen scissors and just started, like, cutting a yarn ball up. So what was once a yarn ball that was, like, a beautiful gradient of blues is now 8 small balls of yarn. And she was very confused about how that happened. I was like, Clark, you cut it, dude. You cut it. She's like, I only cut it the once. I was like, yeah. But when you cut it, you cut like 4 strands at the same time. So now it's cut into a bunch of different bits. Kids are fun. They are, legitimately. I have so much fun with Clark. Sam and I have been watching Succession. We just started it. We're only like 4 episodes in, but every episode it feels like so much happens. I just got to episode 5. Sam's brother came over with the kids and was like, have you watched Succession yet? And Sam was like, no. He was like, it's maybe, like, the best show I've ever watched. And we were like, that's pretty high praise. Not that our, like, interests align perfectly with him, but we were like, Jesus, I guess it's pretty good. We should probably watch it. It's very intense, yeah. And every episode we wind up looking at each other. There's a strong adult warning on this show, side note. It's just about shitty rich people. Really, at the end of the day, the whole show is like shitty rich people trying to like ruin each other's lives. But every episode, we wind up having to sit there and be like, okay, here's what's going to happen. And as many of you know, Sam is notorious for being like spot on in his guesses. So far, nothing that he thought was going to happen has happened. Which is shocking to me. I'm like, damn, really off your game, dude. It's called Succession. It's an HBO show. It's on Sky if you're out here, but. Bye, Nick. Thanks for swinging by. I keep hearing good things about Succession. I'm hella distrustful of critics. If you feel like you have watched like way too many shows that are just about terrible people, you probably won't enjoy this show. I get to points like that where I'm watching too many shows where it's just like, why is everything awful? You know? But if a show about, it's basically about, a guy who is like a really old guy who runs an empire, like an entertainment industry empire, and his just terrible children who have all been rich since the moment that they popped out, right? And it's as much about like them and their relationship with the company and with their dad as it is about like how totally deranged people are if they've been rich their whole lives. right? Like it's about both of those things. So if that sounds interesting to you, it's a very intense show. We've been liking it though. I don't want to accidentally spoil anything. How are you feeling about the characters so far? I'm not going to answer that directly because I also don't want to spoil anything. All that I will say, and if you've watched the show, maybe you can guess what I'm talking about. There is one character where I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Every time he's on screen, I'm like, all right, what the fuck is this guy going to do next? I have to know. So, yeah. We are talking about Succession, yeah. That could be like 4 people. That's fair. Same writer as Peep Show. The writer of Succession. I hated Peep Show. So that surprises me. It is a drama. It is not a comedy. The moments where, like, when I'm watching this show, I do a lot of laughing that is sort of like, God, these people are fucking terrible. You know? It's that sort of a thing. But yeah, Sam and I really enjoy like watching like really intense shows together. We watched The Bear together and wanted that show to go on for longer. I really hope that there's a second season of that show. That was another show that was like manic, like just so intense all the time. Every episode we were like, Jesus, but like we really enjoyed watching it together. And that's how we feel watching this show too. Is like, at least I am experiencing like this uncomfortable feeling with another person. The Bear is so good. It's meant to have a second season, but we'll see. Yeah. I really liked it. I waited so long to watch that show, for reasons that I won't get into now. But I really like it. Once I finally got to watch it, I really liked it. Yeah, the way that The Bear was shot was really interesting. Because I think the exact same things could have been going on in that show, and it wouldn't have felt quite so like, geez, you know? But because of the way it's shot, you just, like, God. There's so many moments in that show where I was like, I feel so tense right now. Yeah, I couldn't watch Handmaid's Tale. So many people in my life have been like, you gotta keep watching it. I'm good. I'm good. I don't actually want to watch that show anymore. I didn't even get that far in it before I was like, no. Isn't The Bear's second season coming out in June? If it is, that's great. Yeah, I think the only way that, like, there are two things that I need out of a show if like the framework of it is everybody's terrible, right? All the main characters are terrible. Okay, all the main characters are in it for themselves. They're all selfish. They're all trying to get something out of each other. They're all trying to ruin each other, right? Like if that is what it says on the tin, if that's the framework, then I either need there to be some kind of growth that creates a huge rift, right? Where it's like one or two of the people involved have some sort of a big shift in a different direction, and then the power struggle becomes different, right? Like it's not a repeat of the same power struggle the whole time. Or I need all of the people surrounding them that are not terrible people to excel, and for all of the terrible people to be like, what the fuck is this? I need there to be like the people doing terrible shit get what's coming, and the people that are doing good stuff and are good people are happy. I need that at least in some degree, you know? If it's like the terrible people are terrible, and because they're terrible and because they're in it for themselves, they win. I hate that. That's depressing. That's not fun, right? Like, not that all media has to be fun, but like, that's depressing, dude. We did finish The Last of Us, yeah. Another thing that I will not spoil for people, but I will say, I didn't play much of the game The Last of Us because I hated the mechanics, and I know that you can like play it on PC now and stuff. So Sam was like, "You have to play the game. Just play it on PC. Don't stream it. Just play it, please." But I had watched a friend play most of the game and had never seen the end. And so again, I don't want to spoil anything about The Last of Us game or show. But when the show was done, I looked at Sam and I was like, "Is that what happens in the game?" And he was like, "Yeah." Fuck. I was like, holy shit. And suddenly, a lot of discourse that I knew around the second game made a lot of sense. It didn't make sense to me without the context of the story of the first one, but suddenly the sort of discourse that people had said to me about the second game, the story of the second game, made more sense. And I was like, wow. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Holy shit. Anywho, maybe I'll play it. I really want to maybe I'll do this tonight actually, because I think Sam is going to be doing some like, there's apparently GTA RP servers that are entirely modded to just reflect what it was like in the 80s. Apparently that's the new thing. So no one has cell phones. All of the cars are different, like everything, which is super fun. That sounds great. So Sam was like, I really want to do some of this 80s GTA RP. So Sam's probably going to go do that tonight. I might just like curl up and try to finish Bramble. I'll be depressed afterwards, but like I really want to play the rest of that game. I found that game really intriguing. He really wants to get in. He's already in. He's been whitelisted. They like, he's on the list. I'm now. Sometimes when when I say things about Sam and it's obvious that chat doesn't know those things yet, I have to rapid fire in my brain be like, is there a reason that he wouldn't have said anything about that? And then I remembered he's not streaming right now. That's why would anybody know that? He hasn't been streaming the last few days. So. Well, there were a couple of days that we didn't stream last week because, well, I guess only one full day that we didn't stream because I was dealing with this, like, flu, whatever the fuck. We didn't get to do the DLC for Curse the Golden Idol, so we'll definitely want to do that. There are a couple other things. Because his PC broke and he got locked out of Twitter. Is that what he said? He took a bunch of days off because he was burnt out. He did not take enough time off after that subathon, and he was, like, not sleeping well. He was not enjoying streaming. He felt like shit all the time. His arm has been killing him, obviously. So he finally, like, went to the doctors. He's booked in for physio now, etc. But, yeah. He took the time off because he felt like shit mentally and physically. So, yeah. So I'm glad he did. He had the audacity the other day to be like, I could do a subathon like that again. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I was reading a thing the other day about how our brains get addicted to being stressed out. And that's why, like, workaholics happen, right? Is your brain gets locked into the loop of being, like, anxious and stressed. And it will find reasons to be anxious and stressed all the time. Or, like, seek out things that give it that feeling because it's just what it's used to. And I was like, this brain has been trained in bad ways. I think that's as simple as it is like if you are experiencing a pattern, even if it's bad, our brains like patterns, right? If your brain is used to being stressed, it'll look for the pattern of that, which is why when people take time off, sometimes they're like, I took a week off, but the whole week I felt like I was still in work mode. Like I still felt stressed out because your brain is still doing the thing it was doing last week, right? Like it takes a while for your head to go, oh, we're not, you know. How is all the royalty madness to someone from the outside? Oh my god. I'm not going to get into like any political aspects of it. I've been pretty open about the fact that I don't give a shit about the monarchy. I will tell you, it is bizarre as an American to go into every fucking store the last like 3 weeks has had coronation like merch in it. It's so weird. I went into a Lidl's, and the second I walked into Lidl, there was a huge like discount tea set that had his face on it, and I was like, why? why I bet there's a non-zero number of people who collected a bunch of that shit. God bless. But it was obnoxious. Every fucking store was like, did you know a coronation is happening? And I was like, yeah, I did know that. God, do I know that? I'm begging you. Put it away. It's happened now. Am I free? Can we put it away now? Our fucking bread! Oh my god, the bread we buy says special edition coronation bread on it? What do you mean? It's bread! Oh my god. Anyways, that's how I felt about it. We were talking about how there were lots of, like, clickbaity. This might be getting too political, but I'll just throw it out there and then we'll move on. We were talking about how there's all these clickbaity articles that were coming out a couple of days before it that were like, young people are boycotting the coronation. And Sam and I were like, to a certain extent that might be true. It might also be that there are a lot of people who just don't give a shit. Right? Like, there are a lot of young people that I don't think fucking care to watch the coronation. I think it doesn't have to be, like, an active political stance. I think there, it's also just ambivalence about the monarchy at this point. But, anyways, I don't know. Because it's not my country. I live here, but it's not my country, you know? They're not my monarchs. I don't. Some people are aggressively patriotic. Yes, I have definitely noticed that. No, so I believe that this. I'll answer this question because it doesn't just apply to here. I believe that this is true across the board. When you go to a country, there are like two versions of going to that country. There, like to live. There is residency, and there is citizenship, right? Residency and citizenship are totally different things. So I have residency here. I have permanent residency here as long as I behave myself. So I have a little thingy that says this person is a spouse of a citizen. They have permanent residency. They're allowed to live and work here. Yay, right? That does not mean that I am a citizen. I cannot vote. My opinion on this country, as far as the country is concerned, does not matter. I can't do anything to affect that. It was the same with Sam. When Sam was in America, Sam was there with a green card, which is a permanent residency. It means I'm married to someone who is a citizen. It's the same thing. I'm married to someone who is a citizen. I'm allowed to live and work here. I am not a citizen. And if he wanted to pursue citizenship, literally at the time that we left, he had gotten notices that were like, you've been here long enough, do you want to be a citizen, basically. So we were discussing, like, did he want to pursue citizenship before we came to England? And in the end, we decided it didn't really matter. But if he had, then he could start voting, right? Then he could do things like that. And if at some point Sam and I look at each other and we're like, we're here for good, right? Like, maybe I would want to pursue citizenship here. You know. Clark is a dual citizen, yes, because I am an American citizen and her dad is an English citizen, and so she got both. Hi, Arnar. I hope you're doing good. Yeah, and I think this might be misinformation. I think England used to be that way, where if you just managed to, like, live here under the radar for long enough, they were like, you live here now, right? Like, you're a resident now. And you didn't have to, like, do the whole rigmarole, which is buck wild to me. All of the outdoor noises that you're hearing are not outdoor noises where I am. They are part of a video called Forest Sounds, which I have asked chat to inform me if it gets obnoxious. And if it does, I'll get rid of it. But if it's nice, then we'll keep it. Would you have to give up U.S. citizenship to get UK? Possibly. I think yes, but I think I would have to like actually pursue it in order to find that out for sure. America does not like you getting dual citizenship as an adult for whatever reason. They do not like it. A lot of people give up their American citizenship when they move somewhere else anyway, because America will tax me until the day I die, even if I never live there again, which is really spicy of them. Classic, very cute. Super, super cute, yeah. Dr. Gadget, welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you very much for subscribing. Filing U.S. taxes in years I didn't even set foot in the U.S. has been a wild experience. Yeah. Yeah. Moving here, having COVID happen, being basically locked up here for essentially 2 years and still having to pay taxes in America. I was like, why? Why is it like this? I see things have been eventful. Oh, Arnar, you missed Wilk. I didn't realize that. Mm-hmm. No, I won't go into it fully, but like, you're able to basically pay taxes in one country and then report the taxes paid and earnings to the other country, and then if you still owe some to that country, then you pay. But it's not. I'm not like doing my taxes and then paying the same amount to America and the same amount to England, because then I literally would have no money, right? Especially as a self-employed person, you have to pay so much in tax anyway. Anyways. Anywho, we can move on. An ad is about to play, and I have snoozed it as long as I possibly can. So, would you guys like to do words? Do you want to do words really quick? Oh my gosh, I forgot that I was showing you the fish people in Trolltopia. What a good time. What a good time we have here. I'm not weird. You're weird. Okay. Let's go. I'm going to run a couple ads. Okay, you have time for one more, chat. Go, 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 go. Come on. Come on. You got this. Yeah. Well done, everybody. Good job. Good job. Ka-chow. I just got sent a very funny clip by Timber, by Timber Majoran. It's Tomato ranting about the flesh tuber tag. It's very good. Yeah. There is a clip, yeah. I said to put it in the stream clips channel. And they were like, I was worried because, you know, Tomato's chat isn't totally like in line on brand with ours. So we're putting a content warning for the chat. But thank you. The last 2 days, I leave to work, right? And I eventually get a text from Sam. It's just a picture of Clark passed the fuck out. And I'm like, what is going on over there? Why does she always fall asleep with you? Little one partying too hard. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know. The other way that you could look at it is she partied too hard with me, and then when it was time for Sam to tag in, she was like, well, time for a nap. Thank you, Arnar. That's very sweet. Too much science. Way too much science. Way too much science, too much yarn, dude. A day of projects. Someone way earlier up was saying that they loved Moral as a VTuber. Thank you. Again, shout out to Swishy for exporting it properly for me so that it could be used that way. But it was really fun to do it. I was really sad. That it didn't work with Apex, because Apex apparently is a nightmare for OBS. So that was a bummer. But it's okay. Hi, Boone! Boone, it was so fun playing with you and Brett. I don't know if Brett's still here, but... Am I going to TwitchCon Paris? I don't know. I don't have plans to currently. Did Clark's birthday go good? Was the hired science guy a hit? The hired science guy was a big weirdo and like a very he was fully a mad scientist. I would say yes, it went good. The kids had fun. I do think that the way that it was done would have been better for older kids, because these were like 3, 4, 5-year-olds and they just didn't have the attention span to like sit and watch a bunch of science projects, you know? But after it was all said and done, Clark was like, I want to do a science birthday every year. And I was like, okay, I guess that means that you enjoyed it. But yeah, he struggled with their attention spans quite a bit. But you could tell he just really loved the science. He was super into it. After it was all done and the kids were eating, he came up to me and was like, I'm going to email you some worksheets to send along to the kids so that they can continue to like learn about the things we talked about today. And I was like, that's very sweet. Thank you. Yeah. When he came in, I think it was Dave. I think Dave and I were like looking at him and like, do you think this is a character? Do you think this is like who he is? And it became clear very quickly that it was just who he is. But yeah, it was fun. The kids made slime. We shot off bottle rockets. And now Clark has like a million different projects that she can do at home because everybody got her like DIY stuff, which is great. So, yeah, there's like 4 different things that are in the middle of being done right now. It's a good way to get kids enthused for science. Yeah. And that's what I was hoping, right? Is that it would be like a really fun sciencey thing for the kids. But again, I think that this guy would have been better for older kids. Like the way that he interacted with them and stuff. I don't think that it was like super tuned into like little kids. But they still enjoyed themselves, so it's fine. Young kids can surprise you. They can do some complex stuff. That's not really the point. That's not really what I mean. There's a way of interacting with little kids that that grabs them, right? There's a way to like engage little kids to incorporate like watching and also being active to pace that sort of stuff out. This was not that. This was a lot of like, sit there, please be quiet, please don't talk, watch this thing. And I was like, that is not right for 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. That's not the tone, right? Like, so there were things to do, but it was a lot of like, sit. And I was like, that's not good for this age group, you know? And there wasn't somehow an uprising of small people. There wasn't. No, for the most part, they were fine about it. But, you know. And then today, like I said, we looked at a bunch of stuff under the microscope, and then that turned into making purple water, and then that turned into, I don't know if I even got to the end of that story, but eventually she got a big container, put all of the water inside of it, put a giant wad of yarn into it, and was like, the yarn is a monster, and then created a swamp and put it in the freezer. So we have a yarn monster in purple water in the freezer right now. Which is great. Who doesn't? You know what? Fair. Yeah, and then we were trying to cut out, like, vegetation to put around it. So there's some felt green blobs, some paper green blobs, and some foam green blobs. So we were testing out to see which ones floated the best. The foam, oddly enough, did just about as well as the paper did. I have no idea how that happened. And the felt sank to the bottom, which is, you know, what you would expect. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm going to be getting, like I was saying, that big bookshelf that I used to have behind me. I'm going to have it behind me again. And I want to, some of the like openings on it, I want to put like little dioramas, right? So I'm going to be getting a bunch of, you know, like moss and weird shit to try and do that with. Clark's going to have a heyday with that shit. She's going to love it. Oh my god. I forgot. I wanted to message Mathis about this. So I was listening to Chilluminati yesterday while I was stripping wallpaper off of the walls in that bedroom. And they were talking about 4-year-olds. At some point, they were doing user-submitted stories. And one of them was like, I remember at 4 years old, I have this like vivid, like, dream memory sort of a thing as a 4-year-old of like floating above myself, zooming into myself, and like suddenly like awakening with consciousness, right? Sort of a thing. And they were saying like I was named after this person, like my dad's best friend, and they died a long time ago, and like I don't know if this is a sign that like I am that person reincarnated or what. Like I'm sure that there's, you know, plenty of logical explanations for this, but it's always been like this weird thing. And anyways, the boys were like, what do 4-year-olds think about? Because I don't think that it's anything like this. And I really wanted to message them, and I should leave a note for myself. I really wanted to message them and be like, guys, I gotta be real with you. Clark, when she turned 4, started asking the most fucking existential shit that I've ever heard in my life. 4 years old is deep existential time. Hold on. I'm going to bring up a DM with Mathis. There we go. I just messaged him the other day. 4-year-olds. Okay, I'm just going to leave that up until I'm done with stream. Yeah, around 4 years old, at least in my experience with this family that I'm in, around 4 years old is when kids start to really be like interested in death, either in like a I'm really scared of it sort of way, or in just like a really like creepily calm sort of way. Clark is a very creepily calm sort of way about it, and I think it's partly because I've tried to always be super chill about it. And she hasn't experienced like a death in the family yet, or like the death of someone she knows. And I think that can really make it more terrifying to a little kid, right? But currently it's just like sort of a vague idea. She has seen dead animals a lot, you know, but like, yeah. So, she asks about death all the time, and it's always in like super creepily chill ways. I was explaining the other day, like, she'll be like brushing her teeth and talking about being a turtle and, you know, just like normal weird kids shit. And then she'll suddenly turn to you and be like, what do you think about when you die? I don't know, dude. I've never been dead, so I cannot answer that question. And she's like, oh, yeah, I guess that's true. And just moves on with her day, you know, like. So yeah, I think kids can start to like think about weird like existential shit around that age for sure. I don't mind it, but they do come out of left field. So I always try to like take them seriously, but sometimes it's really hard not to just be like, what? You know, like seems I've missed a lot. What's the title about? It's an acronym for Sunday Afternoon Dooger. She's also a necromancer. That's true. She has a really strong interest in death as a bug necromancer, so that also makes sense. Yeah, no, it's not birds. It's bugs. She's exclusively done that with bugs multiple times where I've been convinced a bug was dead and she'll just carry it around for a while and suddenly it's just alive and moving and flies away. I'm like, "What?" Okay. Neat. Yeah, yeah. Clark asked the other day why when we die we become skeletons and I had to explain like decomposition to her. She's like, "Where does our skin go after we die? Because when we're dead, we're just skeletons, right?" And I was like, there is an in-between stage, actually, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about decomposition a little bit because she knows how compost works. Um, and she also has her bug graveyard, and the bugs keep vanishing because they basically turn to dust after a while. So we've talked about how, like, things after a while, they start to, like, decay, basically, and trying to explain, like, what that is to a little kid is kind of difficult, but I think she sort of gets it now, right? She's seen, like, fruit and stuff start to look gross. I'm like, that's the beginning process of that, right? And it happens to us too. We're made out of the same shit as everything else, like we also just start to fall apart after a while. So yeah. I'm gonna be like, well, bones do that way slower than everything else, so the bones are left for a long time and everything else just falls apart and turns to dust eventually. Thank you. Yeah. It's fun. It is fun teaching her things. Ah, thanks. I'm just doing my best. I fuck up all the time. I fuck up all the time. I remember one time at a laboratory, a yellow jacket made it inside. It somehow survived getting slapped. It crash landed in a little petri dish with ethanol. It seemed dead for minutes and then just woke up and flew away. Yeah. We've, it's spring now, right? And, we've been leaving our windows open and stuff to let some nice air in. And yeah, wasps keep getting in the house, and they desperately try to get back outside again and can't figure out how to do it for so long that they just exhaust themselves. And Clark, you know, just loves bugs. So she's like, we have to save it. So we have to, like, get a wasp onto a piece of paper, put it outside, put honey or sugar water next to it, and then she'll just watch it and make sure it starts eating. Like, it's a whole thing. And every time it flies away, and she's so happy, and I'm like, that's so great. But also, fuck wasps, though. I don't want them in my house, dude, you know? Yeah, we had a few flies in the house this morning. And Clark was like, Mommy, there are bees. And I was like, I don't think there are bees. I think there are 4 fat flies in the window just clomping around trying to figure out how to get back out. You know those flies that are just huge? No, they don't have fly screens here. You can buy them, but they are not common, and they are not included in houses ever. You have to, like, special order them, basically, which is so weird. It's so weird. I know, they're amazing. I love them. Screen doors. I miss screen doors with my whole ass. Like, it's, dude, they're so great, and they just don't have them here. So I'm gonna have to like find someone who will put them in. Yeah, and I, you know, I the more that we're talking about encouraging a meadow type situation on this property and having a huge chunk of our land be just meadow, I'm like, we are actively encouraging bugs and pollinators, right? Like we want them around, but I don't want them in my house. So, you know, the 2 wolves in me. I want the bugs, but not here specifically, right? So, like, how do we have both? Screens. But that means I have to buy screens. Or make screens. God. Sorry, I looked right into your soul just then while I was thinking about making a screen. It's not too hard to make them. So the problem is that pretty much every window in this house opens out. If it opened in, it'd be easy. You just put the screen in and then open, right? The screen just exists on the outside of the house. But these windows open out. All of them do. So how do you put a screen in for that? And you might be about to say there's an obvious answer here, Dodger, and your goofy guts, but like, put the screen on the inside, but then how do you open the window? You open the window and then insert the frame. You have to put it on each time? God. It's better than nothing, I guess. That's not my dream screen scenario, but that's fine. Don't you have net curtains? Do you think I'd be complaining this much if I had net curtains? I have nothing! Nothing! Yeah, I am thinking now, like, there's probably... I think they're all made of metal. There's probably a magnetic something that I could fashion with, like, a magnet frame, and then you just pull at the magnet to, like, pop it off and open the window. Yeah. Yeah. It would be better than nothing this time of year, geez. House spiders? What about the house spiders? I love our house spiders. They're goofy. They just like leisurely show up. Just having a stroll. And then my child, who loves spiders, goes, "Mommy, a spider!" And that thing runs for its fucking life. Like, just day ruined, dude. The spider was just trying to go for a stroll. And then this monster, this giant screechy thing, is like trying to catch it and kiss it and whatever else. And it's like, get me out of here, dude. Yeah, I'm out of here. Goodbye. One thing you don't want in the house is fruit flies. Clark's obsessed with Venus flytraps. She wants one so bad. And I keep trying to explain to her, like, honey, there are plants that will eat insects. Not all of them will live in this country. Not all of them will live here. She specifically wants a Venus flytrap so bad, though. And I don't think, from what I can tell, I do not think that they'll survive here. You can definitely buy them there because we have them in Sweden. You can keep them. We have Venus flytraps. You just have to have a good setup to keep them happy. Interesting. Maybe Clark would like a terrarium. We have a terrarium. You are correct. She does like a terrarium. However, our terrarium went rogue and all of the bugs have died and now it's just growing mold, which is fascinating. Because apparently they're supposed to create like a mycelial, like fungal situation in there, but the bugs are meant to eat it. And since the bugs are all gone for some reason, I still have no idea what killed the bugs. Since all of the bugs are gone, all of the isopods have died, or at the very least I can't find them anymore. We haven't seen them in forever. Now the fungus is just growing. It's very interesting. Do you say ladybugs or ladybirds? I swap between the two. It depends on who I'm talking to. Because of climate or lack of insects? Like, why did the terrarium go rogue? I have no idea. There were a bunch of, like, full-size isopods in there. And then suddenly there were only baby ones. And we couldn't find any of the adults anymore. And we were like, weird. Because I think, population-wise, the adults are supposed to eat the babies, right? But there were only babies around. And we were like, interesting. And now all of the babies are gone. We're like, interesting. And now you can see something growing in there. Concerning. Yeah, it's a bit weird. Yeah, so because of this, I'm like, I don't know if it's irresponsible to just, like, dump this terrarium out and start over, because I don't know what's growing in there. You know. But we love a mold out here. If it's, I don't know. Could be over-oxidation. Like, too much oxygen got in. I don't know. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of videos of people making terrariums, and I keep thinking to myself, well, if I was going to try to do that, I would just do plants at first. Just get the plants to be fine, right? And then if you can get the plants to be fine, if it's local mold, it should be fine. The guy who made it is from literally around here, so I can't imagine that any sort of spore made its way into there from somewhere else. But isopods always remind me of that episode of Outer Limits with Beau Bridges. I've never seen it. I think the terrarium's still here. I'm just realizing. Hold on. I'll show it to you. And then maybe one of you will be like, I see what's wrong here. Since all the bugs died, I haven't bothered to trim the plants. But, like, do you see, like, all this sort of stuff that's growing in there? And, this wood used to be dark, and now it's got, like, a bunch of, like, light white spots all over it. So there's some sort of a fungal something going on in here. And all that I was instructed was to make sure that the plants didn't get too big. So obviously I don't give a shit about that anymore because there's nothing in there. But yeah. It's a jar. It is, yeah. with a terrarium in it. So yeah, so this is the situation. Like, I would say it got too moist, but at the same time, it sometimes seemed too dry. So I don't know. Could it be a lack of oxygen? I don't think so, because this is literally loose, and there's plants in there that are designed to deal with that. No, I wasn't going to get a big... Look, pre-made terrarium... If I was making it myself, maybe. But, like, pre-made terrariums, if it's huge, that's so expensive. And I didn't even know if we were going to be able to maintain it. So this is the size we went for. So that they would have lots of areas to, like, hide in and hang out. And Clark would be able to see lots of stuff. And I'd love to, like, restart something in here. I just don't know what went wrong, you know. I don't know. Not enough light. It was next to a window. So there should have been plenty of light. So I don't know. Now someone's going to be like, too much light then. I don't know. I have no idea. Life finds a way. We need moral on the case, dude. Did anything ever go on top of the tank, or it was always free? Like, did anything ever, like, seal it? I never put anything on top of the tank. The tank was never sealed fully. It was just a loose top. Jarrarium subreddit. Talk about too high of an O2 concentration. Yeah, other people in chat were saying maybe too much oxygen, which I did not know could potentially be a problem. The like change in color that I later was like, I think that this is a mold thing, started in the soil. Too much algae and life in a bay can result in a sudden mass death of fish and such. Interesting. Maybe it needed to be sealed. I don't know. It's interesting to me because he specifically was like, make sure that you cut back the plants. Not that, you know, if it was the sort of jar where like stuff, where the top's screwed on, but that's not the sort of jar he gave me, you know? Most bioactive terrariums are supposed to be sealed. Interesting. I don't know. Redskin, happy 3 years. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate it.
Happy anniversary.
I don't know. I mean, there would be a huge difference between it being sealed most of the time and then opened for a second to clip some plants versus never sealed properly, right? Like, that does make sense. So maybe I would need a different jar. It's just weird to me that a person that specifically makes terrariums didn't give me a jar that seals. No change in food? No, the whole point of terrariums is that they are self-sustaining, right? You don't have to do anything with them. The bugs that are in there either eat each other or eat the plants. You know, the plants do their thing, the bugs do their thing, and it creates its own little ecosystem is the whole idea, and you shouldn't have to mess with it, really. Too much life in an area can also use up all of the oxygen that's available, and then they'll suddenly suffocate if they need the oxygen. So, like, if the isopods had too many babies, then suddenly nothing would be able to breathe. Interesting. Nature is fucking wild, yeah. Yeah, because I think that this is so cool, and Clark really loved it, and loved watching the bugs and stuff. I would love to do this again. I just don't want to make, whatever mistake happened here, I don't want to make that same mistake again, you know, which is a learning process, so. But I think but the plants that are in there are supposed to be providing the oxygen, correct? So we're saying they weren't providing enough, quickly enough, potentially? If everybody in chat, not saying that chat is science, but, you know, if we're polling chat, generally a lot of people who have terrariums are saying, mine is sealed. Mine is not sealed. So I would guess that that's more the direction of what went wrong, is that it should have been a sealed system, right? Mine is sealed, but it doesn't have bugs. Right. Well, the bugs are, again, the bugs are supposed to eat the plants. And eat each other. As fucked up as that is. Because early on in this process, I was like, they keep having babies, but the babies never seem to grow. And then, after talking with chat and doing some research, realized that is by design. The adults, in order to maintain population, given the space they have, will eat their young. So they're meant to eat each other and eat the plants. They should have had plenty of, and the fungus, right? Whatever fungus is in there, they should have had plenty to eat. I don't think there was a food shortage, you know? I don't know. I don't know what happened to them. Somebody made a good point that it's hard with bugs because it's hard to tell if a bug is gasping for air, right? So it's difficult to tell, like, what was the problem there? Who knows? They were all isopods, pill bugs. Just different colorations, but they were entirely pill bugs in there. I find the same with Freeze Bearded Dragon. I never know if I'm doing the right thing. Yeah. Yeah, lizards can be difficult too. You can tell when they're like if you're around them a lot, you can tell when they're lethargic. You can tell when they're like acting weird. But sometimes acting weird isn't a whole lot to go on. I just asked my boyfriend. He has a few terrariums. He confirmed it should be sealed up, maybe opened occasionally, but kept sealed nearly all the time. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That seems to be this isn't totally sealed. So, if I was going to make a guess based on all this, then that's the issue, right? Google says isopods can die if they don't have clean water. Water? There's moisture in there, but not like water. Interesting. Yeah, the plants create a lot of like there's tons of condensation in there, right? The plants create the moisture. I don't know. Bugs, dude. You could put isopods in your current terrarium and see what happens. That's true. I could just be like, let's try again, guys. Just chuck a bunch of isopods in there and see if they live. Not a bad idea, dude. Not a bad idea. The isopod Hunger Games. Oh, goodness. Yeah, we'll figure something out. Burp. Is Stray Gods out? I just saw someone suggested Stray Gods. Is Stray Gods out now? The demo is out. Oh. I was gonna say, I did not realize that game was coming out so quick. Demo day next week. Lots of them are up for a limited time on Steam. It's over tomorrow. No! As quickly as my heart was full, my heart was empty again. Rip. We have not watched the Dungeons and Dragons movie. We gotta do that. Yeah, a lot of people have said that they liked it. Da, 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 The D&D movie, I liked it.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
An update on me someday getting a highway rat tattoo. So, Nick did, our beloved Nick Terhorst did did a page of Flash that was all rats, and they're so fucking cute. And they were talking about how, like, basically the pictures of the completed rat tattoos are doing better than most of their tattoo content, which is hilarious, and also I'm sure so obnoxious. Like, that happens to artists all the time. They'll do a shit post and it does amazingly well, and they're like, but my other art that I spent 30 hours on, please. Anyways, I was like, I would 100% get a rat from you for what that's worth. And Nick was like, thank you. If you would like a rat when you visit me one day, we can do a rat. And suddenly a bunch of puzzle pieces came together for me. Not complex ones, super, super easy puzzle pieces, but it happened nonetheless. And I was like, oh my God, I should get Nick to do my highway rat. Yes, I'll show it to you. Hold on. I think it's in here. Wait, let me scroll up. Or is it here? No. Where are the rats, Nick? Nick, where are the rats? Okay, this is a different. I mean, it's not this is it, but it's got like modifiers on it. But it's these. Look how cute they are. They're so fucking cute. Adorable. I love them. Now imagine one of these, but with like a bandit mask on and little boots. It would be so cute. So, yeah. Also, if you didn't know, Nick Terhorst is a tattoo artist and does fucking incredible tattoos. And also adorable rats. So, you know. Talking with a David Tennant voice. Here's what's saving me right now, okay? From David Tennant. David Tennant can't hurt you. He's not real, right? Here's what is saving me right now. Is that I have heard the highway rat Tony so many times. Hundreds of times at this point. I have heard the story of fucking highway rat so many times at this point. Narrated by a lovely lady named Inelda or something, that I can't hear the highway rat talking as anyone but her. So even though I've now watched this weird David Tennant version where everybody wants to kiss the rat, it's not canon for me. It's not canonical. That's not my highway rat, you know? Inelda's my highway rat. Actually, hold on. I'm going to find out what her actual name is. It sounds like Imelda in the recording, but I'm gonna find out who did. Highway Rat Tony. The Highway Rat Tony. Okay. I know that the book is written by Julia Donaldson. That is not what I'm looking for right now. Who voiced Imelda? Oh my god, I was so close. Imelda Staunton. Imelda Staunton does it. A queen. Imelda Staunton crushes this story. That's my highway rat. I would hire Imelda. Next time we need a voice for a thing, for a game, I'm going to be like, guys, we should reach out to Imelda Staunton. Is she the one who plays Dolores Umbridge? Never mind, we might not be able to afford her. She crushes it. She does so well at this Tony, this highway rat Tony. Rugs USA. I don't even live there anymore, dude. There's a rug on Ruggable. Some people love Ruggable and some people hate it. Ain't that just the way? There's a fucking, I was targeted by an ad for a rug on Ruggable. They were like, we've done a you know, like a companionship piece. I don't know what that is. I can't remember. You know, when you like work with an artist, whatever. We're working with an artist who's done a bunch of new rugs for us. Come look at her collection, right? These rugs are so fucking good. They're such good rugs, and I'm like, I don't need them. I don't need a rug. I don't need a rug. I don't need a rug. And I keep thinking about these fucking rugs on Ruggable, and you know me. I love it. When part of the marketing is like, you know that thing that's really hard to clean because you can't throw it in the washing machine? What if, bitch, listen, hear me out. What if you could throw it in the washing machine? I'm like, God, I'm sold. Does it look good? And they're like, no, not really. And I'm like, fuck. And now they're like, it looks good now. Well, all right. It looks good now. It looks good now. They've got me. So, I don't know. I'm probably going to, like, think about that rug for the next month or so. And then they're going to be like, the collaboration is finished. It's done. You can't buy it anymore. And I'll barf. I have a Ruggable runner for my kitchen area. And they're damn good. It's not what I wanted you to say. I wanted you to be like, and they suck, Dodger. Don't worry about it. They're thicker now, too. God damn it, guys. Well, all right, fine. Fuck. I also get targeted ads from Ruggable. I'll tell you exactly what rug it is. You ready? For anybody who's like, what is this rug that Dodger is, like, constantly thinking about? I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now. Let's scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. Oh my gosh. Wait. Oh, there it is. Iris Apfel is the name of the person who they did a collection with. Iris Apfel. And she did... Where is it? About to lose my mind. There it is. This rug. It's called Flutterby. Iris Apfel Flutterby, and it's entirely winged insects in, like, really pretty, like, blues and reds. It's such a pretty rug, and I can't stop thinking about it, and I'm mad, so there you go. If you'd like to go look at that. That's nice. 10 out of 10 wood rug. It's a good rug. All of the rugs in this collection are good. They're all good. But this one, I feel very targeted by it. But they're all good. Like, the ones with, like, jungle animals and shit, they look good. I wouldn't put them in my house, right? It's just not my vibe. The birds, love birds, but they're not my vibe. Bugs? Well, now we're talking. Now we're talking. Go on. What about bugs? Clarky would love that rug. She would! She would love that rug! And I would love that rug! Not saying I'm more important, but like... Birds are toddlers for 20 plus years. Every single morning, I don't know if it's because it's spring, I don't know what's going on, but every single morning for the last week and a half, there have been anywhere between 20 and 30 crows out in our field, and Clarky and I are planning an attack. We're like, how are we going to get these crows to love us? Because they're literally just coming to us now. So we're leaving out food for them. Because if we're going to have an eagle problem, if we've got birds of prey hanging out on our property all the time, I would love if some crows were also there and, like, on our side, you know? Currently, they're free agents, but they could be on our side, right? They could be part of the family, so... Crows can be loyal if you pay the protection fee. That's what I'm saying. I was like, Clarky, once we start feeding them, we have to consistently feed them. Okay? We are paying the protection fees, exactly. These are mercenaries. There's somebody on TikTok who, like, has a specific spot that they leave food out for crows, and they have a little camera. There are, like, specific cameras you can get that are, like, bird feeder cameras, basically. So they have one of those set up on this tray that they feed crows from. And they just try different food on there all the time. And there was a video, I don't know if this crow was trying to, like, grab a bunch of food for its babies or something, but they put krill in it. Like tiny little shrimpies, and this crow came over, ate one, sat there for a sec, and then grabbed like 10 in its mouth and flew away. And I was like, damn. Yeah, you know, it's just real life dailies. That's what farming is at the end of the day. I have to go do my day. I literally have to do my dailies or things start to die. So, adding another, this is like a beast tribe quest now. I just have to make sure that I visit the beasts once a day, and my rep will go up with them. I just did my chicken and farming dailies. I did a couple of them. I did a couple of my dailies. I collected the eggs. It's one of my dailies. I took all of our compost-friendly food scraps and put them in one of the beds that hasn't been filled up yet. I did a couple of my dailies, yeah. Have I done all of them? No, but that's okay. I'm remembering a Reddit post about a girl that befriended crows, and then they started to attack her neighbors. Brett, are you listening? I don't have neighbors, but I think you do. And you have a partner that is currently befriending crows, so take note. Yeah. Maybe I'll wait to start actively hanging out with the crows until my in-laws also live on the property so that all of us are in on it. Also, the area that we're feeding them in is like at the edge of the property, and we have a decent amount of land now. So like it's not next to the house. It's not next to the house at all. It's like pretty far out from the house. So new patch expands Island Sanctuary. You can decorate it with outdoor furnishings. Oh my god, for real? Does Tiri know? Tiri must know. That's awesome. I love that. Tiri and I have so many outdoor furnishings that are just sitting in our bags because we have nowhere to put them. That's great. Big fan. It's a shame the cap is so low for private housing, but I think it's because of lag. Hi, yeah, it's going good. Going good. Just chilling. I'm feeling much better. I'm still very congested and coughing a lot, but in general, feeling a lot better. Oh, I already completed my Bloodsworn status with the Loporits, and they're now in my private housing cafe. Cute. That's very cute. I'm always really bad about beast quests. I think the only group that I've ever maxed out is the snake people. I don't think I've ever maxed out my beast stuff with any other group. But, to be fair, I don't think I can with any of the crafters. But finished all of the Stormblood ones, and that's about it. Yeah, I keep thinking I should like bring up a list of like in what order Beast Tribe stuff came out and just do them in order. There's a nice list on one of the sites. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. Vanwalker ones have good stories. I really love the solo content. I struggle when the game forces me to play with other people in an MMO. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the most common questions that Tiri and I get when we're playing is, can I play this by myself? But, you know, a lot of the duties and stuff are... There's tons of stuff that you have to do with other people in order to progress the story. So, like, a lot of it you can do by yourself, but not all of it, you know? But fortunately, I feel that the Final Fantasy XIV community is, like, really nice to play with generally. Occasionally, you play with randos and they're rude, but that has only happened a couple of times to me, really. That's true, yeah, and they have what was I gonna say? Sorry. They're adding like NPCs to all of the dungeons so that you can just do them with NPCs, but I've yet to meet anyone rude. Yeah, the couple of things that I can recall are like, because I'm a healer, going into a duty roulette and having the tank just fucking bolt. And no matter how much we were like, bro, slow down, because one of the people that was in the group had never done the duty before, he would not listen and just kept just bolting ahead. And we were like, this is so stupid, right? It was like impossible for this other person to like enjoy the duty, which sucked. And then the other one, yeah, sounds like a healer skill issue if you can't keep up. Like, fuck. The other one was partly my bad, but I had queued into an alliance raid and disconnected, and then when I reconnected, it didn't put me in the fight. It put me outside of the fight. And in the in the like convo, the like alliance chat, they were complaining about me and how I had bailed on the fight, and I was like, I didn't. I'm right here. So I was like, oh, they're being so mean to me. Who complains in an alliance raid? Oh my god, a lot of people. A lot of people, unfortunately. But, you know, I would say typically in an alliance raid when people have complained, it has been like within the party, right? Like if say the tank from one of the other groups is like acting up and being weird, within our own party chat we'll be like, that tank's being like that tank is like not cooperating properly, you know, and we'll like complain a little bit about it. But like within alliance chat, rarely is somebody like, all right, motherfuckers, listen up, you know. Yeah, I do. Some people have said that they don't like the the like mentor icons and the sprout icons and stuff. I love the sprout icons. I think they really encourage other players to be like, this is a baby, you know, protect the baby, help the baby, right? If there's a sprout in any sort of a like roulette situation that I'm in, or like a rando situation, I will try to help them. If like, you know, if they're doing a fate and they go down, I will try to stop and res them. You know, like it's nice. It's nice to be able to see like this person is new. I would have loved a watering can symbol. I hate the crown. That's fair. I think a watering can would have been cute. I spent like an hour in an Endwalker dungeon with a sprout take who was wiping, but I didn't mind it because they had the icon. Yeah, it just encourages patience, I think. I never put on my Burger King crown. I love that. I'll always think of it as that now. Whenever I see somebody with the crown, I'll be like, it's the Burger King crown. I had so much fun playing Apex yesterday. Sorry, we're going to wrap in a minute, but I had so much fun playing Apex. It made me want to, like, play Apex. It was really fun. You can turn the crown off. Yeah, a bunch of people in chat are saying that they don't ever put their crown on. Yeah, I want to play with Slime Girl more. I haven't played Apex in forever. So I had not played it since it literally came, like, right when it came out. Boone was pointing out that I had the original roster and that was it. I didn't have any other characters because I hadn't played. I hadn't played since then. So for our NVIDIA sponsorship thing yesterday, we played it on the laptop with Boone and Brett. And it was fun. I was like, I want to play Apex more, dude. And I know Nick isn't here anymore, but I know that Nick plays Apex and has played Apex a lot. Same with our DM. Our Hellions DM. But anywho, I hope you guys have had a good weekend. Tomorrow is another bank holiday. Tomorrow's another bank holiday. So it's nice because I get to chill with Clarky in the morning. But it does mean that we're gonna have to do the Old Faithful, and I will be here at noon instead of 11 tomorrow. Exam tomorrow for me. You should be like, it's a bank holiday, dude. I don't know where you live, but but yeah, we'll be starting an hour later than usual. And is there anything else going on? There's no Hellions tomorrow. I do know that. But we'll do what we've been doing on a Monday, and we'll make our schedule. Can I hear a fly? We'll make the schedule as a group tomorrow when I start. And then we'll probably do Curse the Golden Idol. How long is the DLC? Generally. Do we know? It's not very long. Okay. If I spent like an hour of chitty chatty, and then we had 3 hours to do the Golden Idol DLC, would we get through it? Are you going to play Coffee Talk again at some point? Probably not. Not on stream. Joe did it in 2.5 hours. But he was trying to do it fast. Okay, interesting. Okay, well, we'll do our best, won't we? We'll see how far we get in the DLC. I just dropped the thing. It's fine. Okie dokie. Let's start reading stuff off. Let's do it. Dawn Seeker, thank you for the 96 months, which is 8 years, I believe. Happy anniversary. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Silent Zeno, thank you for the 80. Ben Jack for the 25. Male Malay for the 65. Leisure Wave for the 64. Dooger Lucas for the 69. Formaldehydrated. Yes. Again, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Dukes, thank you for the 13. Zach for the 35. Delusional Haze for the 11. Cordry for the 104. Calgary for the 13. Arnar for the gifted subs. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, I didn't notice that you did that. Thank you so much. If you were gifted a sub by Arnar or anybody else, please double check and say thank you. It's very generous, Arnar. It's good to have you back. And thank you for the 89 months, Arnar. Dr. Gadget, thank you again for subscribing. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Will Cubed for the 80. Magic Maddie for the 67. Ikari for the 99. Zico for the 87. Redskin for the 3 years. Happy anniversary. Thank you very much for the support. Will Wall, thank you for the 75. Loey for the 59. Resigne for the 96. Another 8 years. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. Happy anniversary. Jake MT, thank you for the 3. Ninja Cat for the 90. Drakenbolt for the 74. Thank you, guys. I'm so sorry I didn't have Ray Leader open again, so I will find someone. I do this to myself. If you want to see, is Timac on the 80s server? Since we were talking about that earlier. Is Timac on the server where everything is like 80s stuff? If he is, we'll go say hi to Timac. Yes? Okay. Alright. Go say hi to Timac. He's a friend of ours. He's doing GTA RP on an RP server where everything is modded to be like the 80s and nobody has phones or anything and all the cars look different. It's fun. Go say hi. I believe this is what Sam's going to be doing tonight as well. I think he's coming back to streaming tonight. So, if you'd like to watch Tim and then watch Sam or whatever, live your life. It's Sunday. Enjoy yourself. I will see you guys tomorrow, and bye-bye.